Oh, I'm great. This was a very exciting episode that I just finished like 20 minutes
Oh
ago.
my God,
So
yes.
We technically
yeah,
got
so
two
Oh
episodes.
goodness.
2 episodes. Yeah, but last week was sort of a straightforward one. So I'm glad we're on this week to talk about what happened uh this round with what Andy did. So I'm excited.
And
Oh
and
my
also with us is
goodness, the
Kim.
way you must feel right now. Hi everybody. I am really excited to talk about this episode because I'm gonna eat my words. Is that what they say? Because I didn't think that I could change my mind on Andy because I was really hating Andy at the beginning of this season. And I
What did I say?
stopped probably really hating on him a few weeks ago. And I'm like, God, man, this episode, Andy made me, I was just like, and here's the thing, I wanted Rachel safe. That was the thing. I was like, so I can't wait to talk about all of it because Andy, he made my heart flutter. It was so good. Let's
What did
talk.
I say? What, like week two, week three, when I went and I was like, what really frustrates me about Andy is that I can see a good player like
Yes.
bones inside of him. The problem being that when he was out there to begin with was that he was too paranoid and
Yeah, it was
he
too
was,
much.
yeah, it was getting to him and he was playing too erratic. It was the opposite from what I thought of what Rome was, where Rome was not playing a good survivor, but he was getting away with it because of his erratic behavior and erratic play. And that's what was two players that were really upsetting me this season were both of them, one for opposite reasons.
Yes.
One was getting things done in a really bad way, and the other one was really, you can see that he wants to be there. You can see how he knows the how to play, but he was having trouble getting traction because of his own neurosis. I'm not even sure exactly what it was that what was causing his issue. Real quick, since we were not here for last week's episode, just want to just go ahead and just talk about Kyle real quick. What did you all think about Kyle's exit in episode 11 of Survivor 47?
I was sad to see it. I was definitely a Kyle fan. Um, it's hard when you do like a bunch of them, so it's like, who do you want to see leave? I was hoping somehow he could have pulled it off, because he just seems so genuinely nice, really good at the game. Like he's so good at Survivor. So I was hoping they could have pulled something off, but he went out like a gentleman, hugged everybody. I think he's the one that's coming back for season 50, by the way. I
I
think
th-
it's going to be Kyle. That's my guess.
I think he's probably the most classic version of Survivor that we've had in a while, where it's just
Yeah.
go out there, be a good person, get along with everybody as much as you can, win, and provide. And we haven't really had a lot of
And
that.
that's
I
what
mean,
he did.
I what not necessarily that I don't think no
And he
we
was
had a
voted
lot of
out
it.
for it.
Yeah, but I don't know if we haven't had that or we just haven't had the edit of that lately,
I
where
think
he's not really
um
scheming.
yeah, he wasn't really scheming, and I think he could have built himself. Could have built his game as this weak, flimsy guy, but you know, the immunity challenges
I
got
don't
in
think
his
it's in him.
way, and
Yeah,
it's not in him to try to throw those challenges and appear weak. And I think all those wins just sort of accumulated to what happened to him last week. I think he was just way too much of a threat. You know,
yeah.
if you give him top six, top five, and he could win his way all the way to the end. And he
Yep.
has way too many friends on that jury, and
100%.
there's
Here's the thing,
no way
though.
they can let him through.
I think he
He would
was
have won in final
over.
three. He would have won.
He was really good at challenges. Don't get me wrong, but I think it was over. There was an overreaction on how good he was because technically he didn't win one of those. Like I said last time, he didn't technically win one of those. He actually came in third, but because the
Hmm.
other team didn't go to tribal, he became the default winner of that of that challenge. But now Rachel is actually a lot better than we were thinking for
Yeah.
in her in this. And we'll talk about that here lately. Well, no, it happened in that
Yeah,
episode
because
too.
they
She
they
won.
see it on this episode.
Hmm.
They're talking about it. They're like, wait a minute.
Real quick, Kyle
And I
did
need to
talk
say
about
this.
his. Well, real quick, Kyle did talk about him and Sue's relationship afterwards. Supposedly, they are in on positive terms. There's no animosity. I think a lot of what Sue was going against him was because she thought that he was going to use his story. Maybe she didn't have the similar background. I haven't really looked into Sue's background or anything like that. And so she didn't grow up like him, so she was kind of like he's going to use that just to try to win sympathy votes.
Okay,
No,
fair
that's
enough.
not what I think her problem was with what Kyle was. Her problem with Kyle was the fact that he called her Tweedledee or Tweedledum. This is what it was all about. And
That we don't know
I
if he actually
couldn't
did or
believe
not.
it. I literally, again, we don't know. But here's another thing. That's not even anything. Who cares? Like you would have again. I didn't think he said anything just because it wasn't in his character. And calling two people Tweedledee and Tweedledum isn't really that bad.
Now,
Especially if we're watching the beginning of the season when I mean, nobody thought Caroline was that good of a player in the very beginning. You know what I
I
mean?
think Sue
She
was just hanging
is.
on
She
to the
turned out
fact
to
that Kyle
be.
voted for her.
I think
Oh,
that
maybe.
let's go ahead and jump into this episode now. Caroline was the person voted out. We'll talk about what actually ended up transpiring during the episode to lead up to it. But
Yep.
Go,
my
Andy.
my thing with Caroline is that um, she was very purple. Um,
She's mostly been in the back seat for a lot of the votes. Like she wasn't initiating a lot of the action. I think she wanted to just hide in the background until towards the end, and where she can justify her game to the jury. And I think,
here's
Yes.
yeah,
here's my question though, because she, in her mind, at least what she was telling us, she was in the driver's seat as far as
Of
what
that
was going
five
on.
alliance.
Well, whenever
Hmm.
something was going on, she's like, "I want to do it," and then someone else came up with the idea, and then she's like, they're taking the credit for my play or whatever like that, like Genevieve did. Um, did she really actually play that, or did she want? Was she thinking about it? She never actually said it. Someone else said it, and now they're taking the credit because they're the ones that technically told people, let's do this. Um, so I don't know if we just didn't see her talking enough to with the edit, they didn't give her enough credit to where she was actually driving, or if she was just too passive at the moment, and that's why we didn't see it.
I
I don't think
felt
she
there
would have
were
won.
times where Carolyn was very not demanding, but very, I want this, and this is who I
But she
want to
flipped.
leave when she wanted something, right? So, in the beginning of that episode, when she was saying she wanted, I guess, Sam or Genevieve to leave, she was leading that. She wanted that 5 woman alliance, whatever. No, the women alliance. There was a 4 of them. This is when Andy was gone. Blah blah blah. And that's when I knew, right then, we're leaving because that was. I said no. One of them are going home. There's no way it's going to be Sam or Genevieve because this is too easy right here.
And also we
But she
saw,
was very, and so was Teeny.
yeah.
oh well, let's
Teeny
talk
was
about the
very
what
much
led to
about that.
this. Let's talk about what led to that point
Oh, the
here.
Lord.
The reward challenge and the letter from home. The reward challenge very close, and this is what I'm saying. Rachel's actually a lot more of a threat than I think than maybe even Sam, because Sam has won
Yes.
reward, but Rachel has won immunity. And um, what's it called? She almost
Rachel
won.
did
She
way
almost won
better at that
this.
challenge than Sam.
I for the most part, she did way better until Sam got into
Yeah,
that
she
second
did.
stage, and that's when he just
He
stepped into the
dominated.
next gear. Yep, and if she would have gone a little bit faster,
If-
maybe she would have won that reward. But I actually think when I was watching it with my wife, I was telling her she needs to not win this reward because she's gonna piss
Yup.
someone off, and she's going to um, make something else happen that shouldn't be happening. For her game, it was probably better for the way it worked out. But for I guess on the opposite side, the worst possible case scenario could have happened was Genevieve, Sam, and Andy, because we know how
Yeah.
Andy is in switching. He doesn't mind switching as long as it's going to be in his favor.
Yeah.
Um, and we'll talk about his plan because that
Can
actually
I
was a
ask you
brilliant
a
plan.
question
Go ahead.
about reward?
Hmm.
For me, this reward, I wouldn't win, right? Because I don't want
Mm-mm.
to pick nobody. I don't want to be a part of that. It's so close to the end. I'm not that desperate for the food. And I know 26 days is a long time, but I'll be okay. I don't need the letter. Do you know what I mean? I can go the, the next few days. So I'm asking you, what would you have done? I would not have won it.
I would have thrown the challenge.
What would you have done?
The thing is, we would have thrown it if we knew the letters were coming, but they told him about the letters after he won, so there's really not much you can do. Like, it's not like
You can.
he could predict the letters were coming, and then he like, yeah, I can't piss off more
Yes,
people
but
than I can
he did
He
afford.
say what the reward was.
he could have
You
Bob
knew it
Crawley it though.
was you
Remember when he won?
knew that it was some type of thing. So I still would have thrown it because he had to know, regardless of what it was, he was picking someone to go with him. And when you
Hmm.
pick someone, that's when problems come. Look what happened last year. Maria, worst person ever. So things don't always go well. I mean, this was very different. This pick absolutely changed the trajectory of this game, right? But it doesn't always work out that way. It normally works out against the winner.
I'm trying to remember who it was that won that challenge and then gave it away. Like he wanted the that letter from home challenge, and instead of taking it for himself, he gave it to someone else. To give it to
I
everyone
remember
else.
that, and I would have done that.
And I was
Or
trying to
I
think
would have
that it
been
was
like,
Bob Crawley, but I don't know if it was him or not.
rock, paper, scissors it. I would have done that. I don't know why he picked Genevieve. That's what I thought Sam did bad. The Andy pick I understood, but when he picked Genevieve, I'm like, why is he picking her? He needs to leave her back at camp. But then maybe he thought about Maria. Because remember, when what Charlie didn't take Maria on the challenge, that changed everything. And that ruined Charlie's game.
Um,
Remember how bitter she was about that?
yeah, that's the thing is, and we did see Teeny get pretty upset at this, right? Um, but I
Yes.
think if we're gonna say that the move was good because of the outcome, then we're just going by results driven, right? We're looking at
Right.
results. But in all reality, I think this was the worst thing that he could have done. It just happened to work out in his favor. Um,
Yes. I agree.
to me, I mean, I've never been out there, right? So I think that if I was in that position, I would have given the letters to home to everyone else except for myself, of course, and then I'd say I'll live without it, so that I'm not burning the bridge from everyone else. I don't need that letter
I would
from
have done
home
the
from
same.
6 days from home going home anyways, right? I don't need that letter.
Right. I think you'll be
Um,
okay.
yeah,
I never
the
get
pasta,
that moment.
yeah, and the pasta, yeah, I can see. Yeah, I need that. That's gonna give you fuel for the remainder of the game. The
Yeah.
letters, I can see not wanting to take it.
Eh,
But Mark, do you think picking Andy was bad? See, I didn't think Andy was a bad pick. I thought Genevieve was the bad pick.
exactly. Yeah. No, Andy was the perfect pick to take with him, because
I would have taken.
Andy's a schemer. Yeah, and so he needed
Yeah.
him for information and sort of like the planning of it
Not and
all.
not leaving him at camp.
Yeah, exactly. And but the Genevieve pick was the
It
What
worked
it's a little too
out, but
convenient.
there's just it was bad. And when he had that dumb excuse, like I guess it's Italian food, I'm like, this is bad. He should have taken. I would have taken Andy and Sue, not because that's who I would have wanted to be with. It's who I thought Andy because you don't trust Andy, and Sue because you don't want to upset her. Do you
I
understand
would
what I
have,
mean? It wouldn't have been that's who I wanted. I just would have taken her thinking I need to make people not upset.
I would have
Why not
taken
take Andy?
Rachel.
Rachel. Oh yeah.
I would have taken Rachel. Try to bring back the what were they? Tuku? Was that where they were? Um, the
They
original Yellow
were,
Tribe.
yeah, the Yellow Tribe.
Yeah, I
Or
think it was
Oh
Tuku. I think.
yeah.
or
Yeah,
Hmm.
I would have taken the next two in order. Like, well, Rachel was right behind me, so I'll take her. And then
I
Andy
don't even
was
know who
right
was behind
behind
that.
Rachel, so I'll.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
I don't know. I'm guessing Andy just because he was up there. But then I
Mhm.
would have used that as an excuse. But
Yeah,
at the end of the season, I'm not winning those rewards. You know what I mean? Because that's when they don't matter that much. That's when
well,
it puts a target on your back.
I remember watching Palau for the first time live. At the end of it was what final six, final seven, and Ian, which I keep joking around. That's uh, Kyle's older brother. Um, he won the card challenge, and they got to go somewhere for reward. And who did he choose? He chooses Tom, and Tom gets upset at him. He's grateful that he's going on to the reward, but Tom is like, "I told you not to pick me because we need to make sure there's someone talk with Karen, I believe is the one that was
Yes,
causing the
I
issue at the
remember that.
time, and Katie, I think." And he was like, "We need to keep our eye on them so that they don't flip. So if you take me, it's not gonna we're not gonna have anybody there to actually keep an eye on them." And
Yep.
I think keeping the four people there, the four women there, could have really led to disaster.
Oh,
Except for the
I didn't
fact
think
that,
it was a good.
except for the
Andy,
fact that Andy came up with a brilliant idea, and they were able to pull
yeah,
off.
it was.
Operation Italy.
I was like, oh, it was so good. I was so excited. I was like, and I remember it was 9:10 because I watched it live, and I looked at my clock when they were going to tribal. I'm like, what time is it? Let me see how much time long tribal's going to be, because I was like, oh my God, Sue, please don't use your idol. I hope nothing happens and Sue uses her idol because that's going to screw everything up. Because it worked out perfectly. Rachel won the idol immunity. I wanted Rachel to win. I want her safe, and I was okay with Caroline leaving because I wanted this plan to work.
So the plan in itself, when they first started showing and they started doing the backstory and all that, some things that they haven't really done a lot in the last two seasons, I believe, was showing other seasons or going back in time of that particular season and showing how they've progressed, and they've done that quite a bit here in this season. And I'm like, oh no, are they really starting to hint at a Andy win? Because that really looked like bam, bam, bam. Like he was
Yeah.
doing his Ocean's 11. They did that Ocean 11 type of what's it called, edit, where he's saying this is what we
Flashback.
need.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what we need to happen. This is what we need, and this is how we're gonna do it. And no one can take credit for that other than Andy,
True.
because the
No,
other two can take credit for it as for their acting. Like Sam said, we need to get Oscars for this performance, and I think they did. I think they did a really good job. The thing that almost did them in was um talking about the idol, the idol they found, and then was it Genevieve, and I forgot how it worked out that Sam told Teeny about the idol, and then Teeny right away goes and talks to him, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna play it." I think they would. I think they should have made it seem like it might have happened, but them not say who had the idol. so that no matter what, they were gonna have to choose between the two on who they're gonna vote out. And even
Right.
though it didn't matter, it was fake anyways. But still, but I think that almost blew up their
It
game.
was
It almost blew up the game.
it was, and then Rachel winning because their target was Rachel, and Andy was right to target Rachel. She
Hmm.
is very good at this game, right? But I didn't want Rachel to go. I'm like, Rachel's really good. I really hope it's not her, right? But I really wanted to see Andy's move work, right? I needed to see this happen. And then Rachel winning, and then Andy still being able to reel it back in, change it, and then make it. I was just like, oh my God, hurry up, get your tribal, go, go,
He
go.
had a he had a great backdoor plan, and
Hmm.
that's long and
Well,
short of
Oh,
it.
and
Yeah.
Rachel actually sniffed out what they were supposed to do. They were like, I don't think they have it. I think we need to go all out. They went ahead with the split, and that's what ended up doing them in. And like I said, props to Andy, props to Sam, and props to Genevieve. It's gonna make this a pretty good. I think this is the best final six that we've had in a long, long time.
But is
The
this
only
move
one I'll
gonna
say is
paint?
Sue.
yes, I was talking about it with Mark before you came on. I said, this is a gift after last season. Last season, I mean, I will never forgive anything for what that was given. And except for this is what, now I guess I forgave because this season has been remarkable. All these people are playing to win. Do you understand? They're
Even
not
Sue.
being dragged. Even Sue, right? She's still playing it when she's digging underneath things, looking for another idol. I mean, she would have played that idol on Caroline had she thought that she might go. No, Sue is playing. So is Teeny. Not as good as the others, but everybody is playing
Do
this
we
game.
think that this move
And
is going
that's
to
what makes it
paint
super exciting.
Andy as too big of a target?
Okay, so let's go to that because last night Kim did tell me and goes, "Oh my god, that was perfect," and I go, he's misreading the people he's playing with. One thing that Jeff has always said is that you can come in with any planet you want. Doesn't matter what you want to do, right? You can come in think of certain thing, but you need to play to the people that are on that season. This
Right.
particular season, though, as good as it's been, the people in most of the people in tribal in the jury have come out a little bit bitter, right at the time.
They're always
And
bitter.
yeah, well,
Bitter
not always, not
bees.
always.
Not
Now,
always.
keep in mind though, the game has to do with the people you vote out, how you treated them, how you think, your perception of them. Right now, the people that are in the jury seem to have a feeling that Andy's been the reason why they're there because he's been back and forth, and they even pointed it to
Yes.
it. It was Andy again. He flipped again. So everyone there, I don't think he's going to win. I end up thinking it's going to be Rachel that wins, just because I think we've had a
Rachel
lot
might
of
win.
highlights of her, especially starting with the rice, stealing the rice. I think that was the first little kind of thing that they showed
Oh
us
my
that
God,
she
that's
might
what
be
they
the.
seemed so long ago.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It does, but I really think, and they're showing her now be not only being smart, people are seeing that she is probably going to be tough to beat at the end. But now we're seeing her win
Yeah, but she also
immunity.
might go home next week.
I hope
You
not.
know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
Because
it's
they
either
they
next
were
week or
looking, right. So they were looking to get her out now, right? Her winning immunity only put a bigger target on her back, and
well now.
she didn't even know the target was there when
Mm-mm.
she won. Right? She had no clue how bad she needed that, and she's just really great at this game. I do, like I said. I mean, I don't think Suartini could win, but it's gonna be a fantastic final three.
Sue and Teeny could win. One of them could win if they take Andy, but I think at that point, I think Andy's able to win over everybody else
If
at that point.
Andy owns it, if Andy said yes, I flipped, yes, I backstabbed you, I did do those things, but I wouldn't be here had I not. And you have to be real. These people weren't great to Andy, so they have to also remember their own thing. And Andy's really smart,
He is.
right? I mean,
Hmm.
he made notions in confessionals that he played this go, right? And that was what he was playing to get further in the game. He
That's what I
said
want to
that
know.
in one of his
His
confessionals.
confessions, yeah.
So is that
I
true? Is that,
yeah.
is what we saw what he wanted us to see and we believed it? I'd
Well, I
love
was going
to
to
know
ask you
that
all. Do
because
you all believe that? I don't believe that that meltdown at the beginning of the game was intentional, because that almost got him
No.
voted out. I
Yeah.
think I think he
no, I
reacted.
think that really happened.
Now,
True paranoia.
I think he's able. I think he's been able to correct course, and he's been able to go ahead and really um work. What's it called? Work the people that he's been working with at the moment. I still think he's going to end up betraying Sam for to make it further. That's been my since
Oh,
week
he
three.
already betrayed Sam when he voted out Sierra.
Well, he did, but I think I still think that he's going to be the reason why why Sam
Why
goes
Sam
out.
goes out.
That's been my prediction since week three, I think. Um, but I really think we're seeing a Rachel win. I think it's going to be Rachel, Sue, and Andy at the end.
Andy.
Um,
Yeah.
mhm.
It'll
I can
be
see that
Rachel
at the
versus
end
Andy.
very much.
Yeah.
It won't be a
But I
blowout.
can tell you this, both of them could Rachel could win better just because she has not played a better game. I'm not going to say that. I would have played more like Andy than Rachel, right? I definitely would have been all over the place, right? I don't doubt that. So I don't know. I'm really excited to see what happens, but I have a question for you on why. What do you think about how angry Teeny was? Like Teeny was so mad. She wanted Sam gone, and he's now there. And if Teeny would have stuck to her guns and pushed harder, not I'm not blaming Teeny by any means, um, Sam would have been gone.
I
I mean,
think
it was just remarkable for all of it.
I think that the part of the reason why the wheels fell off the wagon here is because Teeny talking to Genevieve and telling her, kind of finding out about the fake idol. Because if she doesn't go do that, then she doesn't come back with the notion that she might have an idol, and then now she's starting to push for the split vote. If she never gets
Yes,
that in her head,
yes, yes, yes.
they just put it
Poor
pile it up on
Teeny.
Genevieve. Mhm.
I like Teeny a lot. I don't think that she's as great of a player as like Rachel or Andy or Genevieve, but I do really like her. Um, I don't know, I like her a lot, and she has really nice eyes. I know this is very random, but when the camera is on her, I always notice her eyes. I'm like, she's I like her a lot.
The thing is, the
I
thing
don't
is,
know if
Teeny
she.
had a lot of control towards the beginning of the game when her tribe was smaller, and now that we're into a bigger group, I think she sort of lost that control, and like she wasn't in as much of a driver's seat as somebody like Sam or Andy. So I think that's why she's been more emotional for the past couple of rounds, because she
Yes,
wasn't
very,
the one driving the action.
I honestly think
very
that
emotional.
if she would have gone to help with what was his name, Karish, what was his name, the second guy
Sheer
yeah, I forgot his name. I think Mark had said he
Keyshawn.
was
Keyshawn.
Keyshawn.
Yeah.
I think that
Keyshawn.
if she would
Okay.
have really spoke up and to go try to get Roma instead of going with Keyshawn or going with anything else there, I think she would be in control, more in
Hmm.
control, because she would have
Yeah.
her allies, and she really just let her tribe get narrowed down just to her and Soul. And when if it would have just been three of them, and she would have been in control of who was there rather than it being Genevieve, Soul, and her, and rather if it was Keyshawn, Soul, and her, I think they would have been able to dominate at least not dominate, but at least take more control of the merger. especially
Right.
with the Blue Tribe. I forgot their name. Were they Tuku? I forgot the names already. The Blue Tribe, having four people there and having a hold, but you seen how they kind of fell apart. Those three people would have been able to really take over and take out everyone else. I talked a lot to just to say the same thing, but because I got myself in a little in a little loop trying to remember what things were happened.
It's good.
Anyways,
My ADHD kicked in. I had something to say, but then I thought of something else and whatever I was saying before. Oh, I have a question. So literally might be the reason Rachel wins this game because remember, he gave her that
the out.
advantage and that she was leaving. She was being voted out that trouble.
I wonder.
She's been, so
I really hope I didn't get to listen to Soul's exit interviews. I really hope he isn't bitter because he could be the reason why she loses. If really at the end, if he points out the fact that he was the reason why she didn't go home, and he's really attacking her for it, she can it can be the reason why Andy wins over Rachel if they both make it to the end.
I really don't
because
think Soul's a
didn't Rachel still vote him out?
Well, she didn't. She didn't
right,
try
but
to
I
save him.
don't think Soul's the
She,
bitter type. I really don't
I hope not.
take him as
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
I don't think he seems bitter. I don't think we'll have as many bitter jurors. I do think Teeny will. I do think Sue will.
It depends on
Caroline. These are
how
the
they get
ones
voted
who are
out.
going to vote for their friends.
Hmm.
You
I just think
know?
it depends on how they get voted out. Um, let's keep it. Let's also keep in mind that going back to another season,
I
heroes
mean,
versus
Caroline
villains.
was fine with her being blindsided. She
Yeah.
loved it.
Well, let's like what
She
I'm saying.
wasn't
Let's go back
mad. She didn't
to
seem bitter.
heroes and versus villains. People were actually saying that they were going to vote for Russell that season to win, and it wasn't until the stuff that came out in the finale that he lost votes there because he admitted that he never really wanted to take Jerry. I think I know for sure was one of them that turned on him, and I think she ended up placing the vote on Sandra that ended up winning. I think she voted for Sandra. I'm not sure, but anyway, he lost votes because of how he was, and the stuff that was revealed at the end of the game. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying that it might
Yeah, but
some stuff might come up.
Andy is way different than like
No, no,
Russell
no,
was.
no. I'm
Was
talking
just
about like if anyone else feels that maybe Rachel was there only by luck, which I feel like
oh,
you
I
play the
see what you're
season,
saying.
you're given. You don't have nothing to do with what's out there. You have nothing to do with the advantages. You have nothing to do with
Yeah, I
any
mean,
other player
she was
provides.
given the advantage. She wasn't going to say, "Oh no, I don't want this advantage. Let me sit here and get voted out."
Yeah,
No, she's
But
playing a
there's
great game
yeah,
with.
but there's been multiple people that's been pointing her out as a social slash strategic threat. So it's not
Yes,
that
she
she's
is.
lucking her way through this game. People are
mhm.
seeing her game and seeing her as a threat.
Hmm.
And I
So
think she has
Yes, she is.
social skills, and I think she's able to talk enough to point that out. That if they do try to throw that at her, she says, "Well, why were you thinking I should be voted out first? It's because
yeah,
you all thought that I was what's it called, a social threat, and that's why I should leave. You all thought I was a what's it called, um, I was gonna outwit you all. You all wanted me to go.
yeah,
And she still has her block a vote and
block vote and an idol.
veto. I mean, immunity and veto. Not Big Brother. She still has block a vote and immunity. I mean, not.
Yeah,
My God, will you say it again? So her hidden idol. That's what I mean. So,
yeah,
Can y'all still hear me?
and we still
yes,
have Sue's idol.
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to deal with something here. Something popped up. I wasn't sure if I was still up here or not.
So
it's a lot of stuff out there. And we're going to find finale with 6 people,
Yep.
and the next round or two is going to be super chaotic.
6 people, two
First,
idols, and a block.
first
Block
time
vote, yeah,
ever that the finale is going to be broken up in 2 weeks, and I'm hoping that's because it's going
Yeah,
to
and
be
that
a
makes the finale on
awesome
my
finale.
birthday.
hmm
It better be because that's my birthday.
So it better be a
It
good.
better be finale. It better be amazing. It better be good.
So your
It
birthday's in
really
two
better be
Wednesdays.
good. Yes, it's on December 18th.
Yep, that's when it is.
That is my birthday.
I thought next week's the
So
finale.
that's what I'll be doing.
That's the first part of the
No,
finale.
it's two part.
So
Two
and
Oh,
part finale.
oh,
so you know how we
oh
usually
boy.
it was 2 hour finale where the first half was the first hour, the second half of the second hour. This
Yeah.
time we're having a 3 hour finale technically because the first half
Yep.
is going to be on next week, the second half the
Mm-hmm.
following week, and I'm hoping it's because something's going to happen that is going to
Maybe
it's,
there's
it's
gonna be
it's
a
going to leave it at
new
a good
twist
cliffhanger.
because
That's
there's
it.
yes, and
Interesting.
some of these new games this year are really great. Like that
Mm-hmm.
the reward game. We haven't seen that challenge, have we? At the reward challenge. Have we seen that before?
It's what they've been doing a lot of
Maybe
is
versions of it?
different versions of old challenges, changing it up so that it's not the same. Like we've seen in the previous, they had that where that guy does the maze, but
Puzzles?
they added another
Okay.
person, so it's two people doing it instead of one. And the other one where they had to land the ball in the little holes, they added string so that it's three people doing it instead of just one or two. So they've modified it so that it's not as easy or hackable, at least for the players that are playing the first time.
To learn. Because we
Hmm.
had that one player. What was his name? He was literally building them
Oh,
and doing them.
from
Carson.
last cars. Well, didn't Spencer do it too? Spencer, he won.
Wasn't
I
yeah.
think so.
He wanted like in 10 seconds or 7 seconds like that because he had a 3D printed the exact puzzle that had appeared numerous times, which he's probably one of the few people that would have really been able to see that and notice it that it's the same puzzle over and over again. And
Yeah.
he practiced that over and over again, and it just turned out that he ended up being the one doing it, and he did it right away. Um,
Yeah, it's some of these challenges have been really fun.
Yeah. So next week. So it's a part one of the finale. How many people do we think go out next week?
I think it's gonna be two. Wait,
Two
Two.
people, and we go into
no,
finale
That's
with
what I
four.
would guess.
no, I think it's only gonna be one
It's
because
gonna be three?
no,
Only
I think
one next week?
only one next week because if we take out two, it's gonna leave four, which would only leave the fire making challenge unless something else changes it.
Oh.
But it would leave only the four my
Oh,
fire make
true.
for the final, and I don't think they would do that.
Yeah.
And
I
I
think
don't
what's
know if
gonna
it's
happen
gonna
is
Unless.
change
one's gonna
at
go out.
all.
Mm-hmm.
I think one's gonna go out, and the second person is gonna be left up in the air. Like they're either gonna start reading the votes, and then it's gonna.
Oh, oh, don't do that. Don't
Oh,
do
don't do
that.
that to me, man. Are you kidding
Bloody hell.
me? I'll be so mad. I gotta wait a week?
I
Really?
think that's I
Yeah.
think that's what's gonna
Oh
happen.
my gosh.
I mean,
I think
Oh,
they've
it's
done that
so good
before.
this
So I
year.
mean,
they done
not
it before,
too
but not
foreign.
like that. The way they did it before wasn't it the in Game Changers?
Mm-hmm.
Was it Game Changers where Sari goes home? No, see that was at the end of that episode. No. It was an episode where they did the first smash the turn the time thing, that the hourglass. They No one went home that week because they left it at that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was one more, but I can't remember what it is. I just
I
can't
don't
remember what
remember.
season it was in. Yeah.
Yeah. But who
Um,
do we think is in the most danger of going first next week?
I hope it's
Rachel.
Genevieve,
Yeah.
and just
I
because I
think
want Rachel to win.
it's Rachel. I
Mm,
do. I would. I really like to see a Rachel win. A Rachel
Andy,
or yes, an Andy. But if you watch next week's uh coming attractions, you see Teeny talking about Rachel's advantages to Sam and I think Genevieve. So you see that flip with Teeny
which
where
is
she
fine.
realizes, oh,
But
well,
you know why it's fine?
So I don't know. Oops, my earbud. Sorry.
I
I
think
don't
it's
know what's gonna happen.
I think it's fine because isn't it next week the last time they can use it, or is it the following week? I think the next week is the last one.
They can.
All right, she's playing her
I mean,
idol
Final Fight's the last
definitely.
time, right? The
Oh, is it
Final
Final Five?
Five.
But
Yeah.
I think the best move is to use both of them next week, get the numbers back on your side, and then just hope for the
This
best from
Whose
there.
vote are you blocking?
the
Whose
steal of
vote are
the
Andy
you
block
blocking?
vote is until final six. So Rachel has to block a vote
next week,
in the first round.
and if
Yeah.
she doesn't have immunity, use the idol.
Right.
So block Andy's vote. That's who you would block.
Because you never know what he's gonna do.
Right.
So even if he comes back to your side, you don't know if he's gonna be on your side or not. He's done it a couple times.
But why don't you block a vote
Who's
that you know
going?
for sure, like a Sam
Yeah,
or
that's what I'm
Genevieve?
thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine too. I mean, as long as you take a vote from the three that's there.
Right. But I don't think Andy is too solidly on their side as well
I
because
think he sticks with Sam now. I really feel like he sticks with Sam now. Even though I've been saying he's going to end up causing him to go home, but I'm starting to think that Andy beats Sam now because of this move.
hmm,
Because he's going to be able to say, "I did
Yeah.
that. You're only here because of
right,
me."
right,
And technically, he
true,
can say the same thing about Genevieve. That he
yeah,
Yes.
okay. Hear me out. Andy's power move, taking both, it would be to take both Genevieve and Sam and say, unlike the other people who were willing to take out the top players, I brought them along with me because I feel like I can beat them.
hmm,
And it'd be the
And I think
reversal of
Andy
what's
could.
going on.
It's gonna be a fun. I really believe it because I don't see Sue and Teeny going into to final. Uh, so it's gonna be really good final three because we have a lot of people who can definitely articulate how well they played this game and why they should win.
And I think that Rachel, with those four that were there, she had locked herself in. I don't think anybody beats her. Of those three that were there, I don't think anyone beats her. So she was locked in with those four, no matter what. She just had to make sure
Oh,
that
the
she wins the
girls. Oh,
final.
she
Yeah.
was. Yeah,
So
she would definitely winning out of them. Even though Caroline, I think maybe thought it would have been her. I do think Rachel was was winning that
if
hundred
Caroline
percent.
would have won, I think they would have hidden her win like they did with Michelle, and not and I don't see her as being as like Lisa from last season, where she thought that she was going to win no matter what. She thought if she reached the finale that she was going to win, and I don't see any way that she would have won that. She thought she was playing a lot better than she really was.
right,
But maybe Caroline did make the moves that and we just didn't see as much as because it was a flashier edit to show someone else, show Genevieve do it, show Rachel do it, show Andy doing it, and maybe because she's
So
a little
many
bit more
people are
timid,
really decent. It's just
it's
shocking compared to last season, right? It just it's very very different. I mean, and get hard to Ben. Ben seems like a really nice person, and if I want to know what band did he like, Metallica,
oh Metallica, yeah.
is
Hmm.
that it?
Hmm.
If I want to know Metallica songs, I'm gonna call him up and I'm gonna ask. But he shouldn't be playing Survivor. There's not a reason, and I know that's mean, but him, Kenzie, it was all awful. It was just absolutely awful. And this season is my gift. My gift. So thank you, Sam, Genevieve, Andy, Rachel, Sue, all of you. Thank you for this season. Thank you for playing this game.
It's a
Right now,
great
Sue
season.
has dirt all over her.
Oh, I had to think
She's
about
digging in
see
holes.
I think I had a thing about that. Tabitha had said, "What if she always has dirt on her face because she's trying to use it as makeup?" Because if you notice that when she really has that dirt, like really like not where it's not real noticeable, her skin looks smoother. It doesn't look as like like sunburned.
Leathery.
Yeah, like it doesn't seem as sunburned as when it just looks like she just has dirt on there. And when it actually
I
goes,
wondered if it was purposeful because I'm like, I know they don't have mirrors, right? But you'd
someone else would have
think,
told her.
like, I would be like, so, Mark, you got dirt. Like, but they mentioned how dirty they were in the beginning of the episode. Someone mentioned it,
But she's been like
but
that
I
since like
don't
day 3.
understand. So here's another thing, and I and I mean this in a not negative way, but she clearly has a lot of sun damage, right? So could that be because of her sun damage? And it's
I
just not something that she can take care of out in Fiji,
I
as
said I
maybe
also
she'd
said
be able to if she was home.
when Tabitha said that, I go,
She's
well,
covering something up.
maybe it's using she's using it to help protect against the sun. That's what I said. And go, so it can be either one of
Or
those two.
she's covering something up that the sun is exposing, right? Because, and again, it's not to make fun of her skin or say anything mean. I'm just saying that she might be keeping it there to hide something. Maybe, skin really screws up your skin. Sun really messes up your skin. It,
Yeah.
I mean, I know
So
people who have had skin cancer. So
we're gonna go ahead and leave it there. Um, I'm having a little bit of an issue with my computer, so I want to say goodbye. Just in case it doesn't stop recording or on YouTube, I'll be right back to turn it off because I'm gonna need to restart this. But I want to say thank you for joining us here on the Spyshack podcast. Thank you, Kim. Thank you,
yes.
Mark, for being here once again. And it's going to be a great season of Survivor finale. So next 2 weeks we're going to be in finale mode.
Yep.
I'm so
All right,
excited. I can't wait.
we'll
Yep.
leave it there. Um, keep in mind that we might still be on the air, so I'll be right back in case that does happen. See you guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.